We'll start with the top of the agenda, please. Senate Bill 747, Elections Law Changes. Senator Newton? Senator Heiss? No, Senator Daniel, okay. Any of the above? You have the floor, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the Senate. As we've said before, this bill is Senate Bill 747. It's the jumbo jet of election integrity. So we would like to, I'll just go down through the highlights of the provisions. So this bill would require the State Board of Elections and County Boards of Elections to retain and preserve voted ballots and other types of records for 22 months after an election, mirroring federal law. Prohibits the State Board and County Boards from accepting private monetary donations for the purposes of administering elections or employing individuals on a temporary basis, but does allow in-kind donations of voting space, like a church or a fire department. It makes changes to the observer laws and allows observers serving less than 4 hours to serve an additional 4 hours on election day at any voting place in the same county. It allows chief judges and judges at a precinct to leave the voting place prior to the completion of all duties for an election and to allocate precinct officials for early voting sites, other than the office of the county board, in the same manner as at precincts on election day. Provides that voters using the same-day registration process during early voting must vote a provisional ballot unless they provide certain documentation. Provides that if an appeal to a voter challenge is made by the State Board, that appeal is to the Superior Court of the county in which the challenge originated. Provides that write-in qualification requirements do not apply to special district elections or nonpartisan elections for boards of education. Provides that if the time for voting is extended by a court order in one or more counties, that time for voting is extended in all counties by an equal amount of time, and also would apply to the receipt of absentee ballots. Requires precinct officials to maintain a log of anyone who is not a near relative of the voter who goes into the voter booth to assist the voter in marking that voter's ballot. Requires the type of identification submitted by certain first-time voters to be listed on the voter rolls and available to the public. Provides a process for county boards to issue certificates of elections for municipal offices when the municipality lies within more than one county. Requires the State Board to submit an annual report on any revisions to a voter's voter history after an election has been certified. Makes modifications to the Electoral College process for electing President and Vice President of the United States. Amends the law regarding mail-in absentee ballots to require the following: except for military and overseas ballots, all completed applications and marked absentee ballots must be returned to the county board by 7:30 p.m. on the day of the election unless that time is extended by some form of an order, making this consistent with 30 other states. All absentee ballots received prior to election day will be counted on election day, and absentee ballots received on election day may be counted at a county board meeting between election day and the day of canvass. Each witness witnessing an absentee ballot must print his or her name on the application. Applications for absentee ballots will also be retained for 22 months. A process for curing deficiencies in absentee ballots is in the bill. The county boards will use signature verification software to check the signatures of executed absentee ballots, and also two-factor authentication for executed absentee ballots. These are processes that will have to be developed over time. Makes it a Class 1 misdemeanor to impersonate a precinct official or for anyone other than the State Board or County Board to affix or print a barcode on any absentee ballot request form. It would require the SBI to investigate election-related crimes. Requires a person to vote in an election. Requires a person. Okay, so it requires a knowledge requirement if a person who is ineligible to vote because of a felony votes in an election, they would have to knowingly do that. Creates a process for voter list maintenance, removal of non-citizens reported as disqualified from jury duty. So those, if someone requested removal from a jury because of non-citizenship, that would be reported to the boards of elections. Requires list maintenance effort to be conducted on a weekly basis. Requires notices regarding photo ID, the new photo ID requirement. So it directs the boards of election to give that information to the voters in mailings and also post it at their voting location. And finally, requires a study on replacing the statewide voter registration system. So that's a high-level view of the bill, and I would answer any questions.
Thank you, members of the committee. We have questions, please? Seeing none, do we have anyone in the audience that cares to speak? We have two people that are signed up, I believe, for 747. Joanne Embry. Good afternoon and welcome.
Thank you. I'm with North Carolina Election Integrity Team, and in the cause of transparency and trust, I would like to support poll observers as described in H772 be added. The law currently has many activities that poll observers cannot perform. It has one general sentence about what they can do, so I would ask that more specifics be given about what poll observers can do. I would support cast vote records, which is H770, be included so that citizens are able to compare election results to machine tapes. In addition, the State Board of Elections changed their manual in May of 2023, and it now indicates that list maintenance may not be conducted based on lists submitted by third parties. So, example, 2 years ago, I submitted lists that appeared to have errors in the voter registration rolls to Wake County and Johnston County, and they were very appreciative to receive those. And at this point, I would no longer be able to do that. And then I would also support the definition of private funds that is used in H641, which is a broader definition because the organizations that have been providing funds have been changing their terminology and models and funding models. It's way beyond donations. So we would like it to be broad so that we can catch all the various means that the organizations are using. Thank you.
Thank you. Brianna Garcia.
Hello, my name is Brianna Garcia. I'm the policy organizer with El Pueblo. I wanted to direct your attention to Section 30E regarding non-citizens, point 3, which states, the State Board and County Board of Elections shall retain the electronic records for 4 years and may destroy the records after that. This could cause for concern. It's possible that non-citizens' personal information could be accessed and used maliciously in the light of the recent rise in hate crimes against non-citizens that we have seen. In 2017, the Republican-appointed board director, Kim Strach, examined dozens of cases using data from DHS and the DMV, where she found the complexities of immigration law and citizenship status led to a high proportion of flagged individuals who were citizens due to the intricate verification process. There should be a requirement to delete these public records as soon as the citizenship has been verified in order to protect people's public safety and privacy. This bill would have a disastrous impact on our democracy, and I urge you to vote against this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion from the committee? Seeing none, we have a motion for a favorable report from Senator Paul Newton, Senate Bill 747, election law changes. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.